What's up, guys? Thank you so much for being able to tune in. The fact that you jumped into this tells me that you want so much for yourself, you want so much for your life, you want so much for your children, those around you, and overall, I don't know, you want so much for your purpose. But one thing I can tell you is that you're in the right place. And the approach that I want to give you is the simplest approach you could ever uh, do for yourself towards Forex. You might have scanned this QR code. I don't know which part of Lusaka you scanned this QR code that brought you into this program. You might have a friend might have recommended it to you. I don't know, probably beyond the borders of Lusaka, Zambia. This link you might have picked it up over the internet. I salute you, and I just wanted to say that I'm here to help, and I'm not here to complicate anything for you. The first step that you need to know before I proceed in what I want to share with you is that you have to take the time to understand that there is no perfect strategy in Forex. Okay, there's no perfect strategy. I've written a couple of books about what Forex trading is and what it's not, to just get you into the zone so that you understand what Forex trading is. You might be beginning. Sometimes you might even be intermediate, but because of your foundation not being very good, you mess up the whole process. You can't build on a weak foundation. And that's the point that I'm trying to present to you. Yo, my name is Abraham, and I'll be taking you through this journey on various issues on the subject matter of Forex. I know I don't have to define it as much, but you can probably just take out your phone, Google what Forex is. You should be okay. Moving on to the next thing, I wanted you to know that what I want to do is give you techniques. Think of it like what's the word? It means mixed martial arts, MMA, right? In MMA, you have a fighter. Okay, we'll call this fighter John or Brian, or let's say John. So John knows in mixed martial arts, to be good with punches, you have to probably learn boxing or some martial arts discipline that enables you to become very good at punching. Okay, let's say he picks boxing. When it comes to kicking, he'll probably pick taekwondo. All right. When it comes to close body contact, he might pick wrestling or jiu-jitsu, because those involve grappling and the like. So you realize that with trading, it's more or less the same. You have to have a strategy, okay, that enables you to combine different techniques. And I that's how I personally define a strategy in Forex trading. It's a combination of techniques, right? You have to have a technique that helps you determine the trend, that you're going in the right direction. You have to have a technique that enables you to know that this is the best time to sell. How high are you selling? Is this the premium point? Is this the acceptable point to sell? Right? That's how you reach a point where you can say you are effective in trading. It's a combination of techniques. It's not just one technique that you run with. And the other challenge I have observed is that, like my promo says, before you pay for a mentor, you want to take your time to have some kind of structure, and that's just right. That right there is what you're paying for. When you're paying for mentorship, you're paying for structure, you're paying for access. These are the two things I talk about. Let me break it down for you. When I say uh, when I say you're paying for structure and you're paying for mentorship, of course, this is my presentation to you. I'm already into it a bit, but I just wanted to talk about those two things: structure and access. Access is you being able to trade like your mentor, see what your mentor does, and being able to trade like them, think like them. It basically just gives you access for motivation, to say if they can achieve it, you can achieve it, right? The other thing I talked about is structure. Structure is very key. There's so much stuff out there on YouTube. You can go there. You can even pause right now, go to YouTube. You'll find so much content, but you realize that you become so overwhelmed that we call it analysis paralysis. You become paralyzed because there's so much information. So your mentor gives you structure. That's why we pay for mentorship, right? To have some kind of structure to say what to focus on, meaning that what you're focusing on means you're not focusing on other things. You don't have to focus on other things. So if you want structure, I'm basically giving it to you for free. Okay. Access is something that we can arrange. As far as opening a group, there's a group that I've opened. I can throw you in there, and you basically have access for free, right? Trading doesn't have to be very complicated. It doesn't have to be hard, And I don't know. People at different stages of their development. There is the newbie who knows nothing. We can handhold you to the intermediate, to the advanced. Whatever the case, I want you to know that you're not supposed to be alone. You're supposed to be in a community. You're supposed to be sharing ideas and things like that. Okay. So I'll leave it at that. Mr. Scammer, please stay away. Don't think that we are not watching you. The groups that we are adding people, we are watching every interaction. So, guys, please notify us if you see someone in your DM asking for money, buy this, buy that. Just know it's not from me. That's a disclaimer. Okay, guys? That's my disclaimer to you. Please don't pay for anything. This stuff is free. Whatever you need, just reach out to me. You have my details, you have my email. We can arrange for all of that to be given for free in a pack or in a group. You find all the stuff that you need for free. Now, I move on to the next thing, which is the fallacy of pursuing the perfect strategy in Forex trading. So this is my presentation to you. I don't want this recording to be very long. I want it to be as short as I can make it. I repeat, chasing perfection can harm your trading journey. This is true. So much of the thought process that we have, when you have a wrong thought process, you begin with a wrong thought process. That will be your greatest downfall in Forex trading. You might become a gambler because it's just two buttons, buy and sell. You might end up becoming a gambler. You might end up becoming a perfectionist where you want 100% profit, which almost becomes impractical. What do I mean impractical? You might wake up stressed that day. You might wake up hungry, and then you throw yourself to the charts and no one is perfect. To err is human. So you also need to understand that a perfect strategy, you can fail in your application of a perfect strategy because we're human. But when that happens, remember, one loss out of 9 trades, you're still in profit. You're not supposed to be discouraged by a loss. So this is a psychological issue, and that's why I'm trying to say that sometimes it's not even just the strategy, it's the mindset that you have. And I want to take you on that journey to having the perfect mindset, because it's the mindset. Other traders look at it in a different way, but my ratio is this. My ratio is 70% psychology or mindset, 20% strategy. I believe strategy is 20%. And then, 20% risk, 10% strategy. I believe strategy is 10%. I've seen weird strategies out there where guys are making a lot of money just on indicators alone. But I encourage anyone to stay away from indicators. I really do. My whole package is price action. Price action is the best. I've been there. Tried every indicator out there is. I wouldn't recommend that for anyone. Moving on to the next thing. Many traders chase a perfect strategy, as I earlier pointed out. There's always endless backtesting and tweaking, and the truth is that the markets are dynamic. Perfection doesn't exist. This is true. That's why I don't trust robots. Your robot may work in an uptrend, but when the market is going down, the robot stops to work effectively. Or when the market is moving sideways, the robot can't do that. At this point in time, I trust my eyes, and that's how it's supposed to be. You are supposed to learn how to read the charts first before you learn your automation, because your robot may fail, right? And also, like I said about the perfect strategy, it does not exist. Okay, so I've tackled two things. Most of this information that I'm talking about is there in my book, Demystifying Forex Trading, or Forex, Demystifying the Forex Market. Everything I'm talking about is already there, and it's a book that will help you manage your psychology. So it shouldn't be that there's endless back testing and tweaking. My responsibility, my aim is to make you have to learn it Forex in the shortest space of time. Remember, I'm teaching you techniques. You can define what Forex is, ABCD. Okay, cool. But my responsibility is to teach you techniques. And that's what we want to go into. Okay, guys? Techniques. Nothing more, nothing less. So I'm talking about why it's a fallacy, pursuing a perfect strategy. Markets constantly shift, news, volatility, and sentiment, right? I already talked about that. No strategy works 100% of the time. It's not the strategy itself, I believe. Personally, I believe it's the fact that to err is human, to error is human. We are not perfect. As human beings, we're not perfect. So sometimes we misapply the strategy. And this is true. That's why discipline is very key. I have seen people make 100% profit. Yes, it's possible when the discipline is in check. But if you're not disciplined, you get emotional when you put money on the line. It's natural to be emotional when money is on the line. But that's not what we are talking about, okay? The other point of over optimizing leads to confusion and losses. Pardon the noise in the background, guys. I'm in an urban center, so my mic is open. It's not a closed mic, so it's an open mic. So pardon the noise in the background. Over optimizing leads to confusion and losses. For me, I believe over optimizing. What do we mean over optimizing? I could use the other word I could use here is overreading. You know, overreading information, analysis paralysis. Guys, if you could pause this video right now, go into YouTube, you'll find a lot of content. But remember what I said, structure helps you focus on what's important and what's not important. Okay? So you need to learn that the more you learn, the more it may disadvantage you. Actually, that's my argument. You may think it may work to your advantage, but it can actually lead to your disadvantage. And that's why I said it's a crash course. You're not supposed to learn everything. There's so much about the markets that, trust you me, you could go into programming for trading. You could go into script writing for, which is similar to programming or the same, whichever language you're using, You could go into that. You could go into indicators, the use of indicators. It's a whole world out there. Like, you can't learn everything, you can't do everything, but you need something that helps you focus. Okay, we're halfway with my slides, guys. Common pitfalls, as I earlier pointed, switching strategies after small losses. The problem with some of you guys is that after you make a loss, you want to switch the strategy, say, oh, this thing is not working, it doesn't work. Oh, this thing. The other thing is you're spending months searching for a flawless method. You're ignoring discipline and risk management. And that's why I personally said 70% psychology, discipline, and then 10% risk management. Okay, so sorry, I said 20% risk. That was my. Please don't ever forget that 70% is psychology, discipline, 20% is risk management, and 10% is strategy. I mean, that's how I put it. It's as simple as that, guys. Very simple. Switching strategies after small losses, don't, guys, please. You take yourself back years to learn something that you should have learned just within weeks to months. If you're a fast learner, you learn this thing in weeks. Okay, if you're slow, you learn it in months. But the more you keep on switching strategies, and remember, strategies have combinations of different techniques. Remember the definition I gave you of a strategy, Forex strategy. It's a combination of techniques. Techniques, what do I mean? Approaches to analyzing the market. Simple. You spend a lot of time on those things, guys, you're gonna waste a lot of time. That's why this crash course is here. It's free. I hope the fallacy of free stuff does not pursue you. What do I mean fallacy of free stuff? I hope that gap that happens, where because it's free, don't take it serious. Okay, fine. You may have to pay if you can't take this thing serious. You may have to pay. Someone will charge you to learn the same stuff that I'm giving you for free. I guess that's life. I've seen even people pay for indicators that come by default that are free of charge. I've seen people pay for default settings, literally. And that's what we're trying to avoid. We're trying to avoid you paying for stuff that you're supposed to receive free of charge. Okay? And I'm here to show you what really works. Solid risk management, consistent execution over time, emotional control and patience, adjusting to changing market conditions. And my bonus, which I give you, mind renewal. What do I mean mind renewal? I could start with solid risk management, stop losses, lot sizing. I mean, that's a self-explanatory if we break it down later on. But I'm already at 16 minutes, guys. I'm already overdue. I don't want to bore you. Consistent execution, that's self-explanatory. Emotional control and patience. This is very key. When money is involved, people get emotional. Adjusting to changing market conditions. The market can range. It can be going up. It can be going down. So only those three conditions, right? Knowing those three conditions. The bonus, mind renewal. All right, guys. There's an issue here. I had to go back and just come back to this. Mind renewal is something what do I mean mind renewal? You need to have your setup, pictures of the setup that you want, and a lot of pictures. I draw inspiration from the scripture. Faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God, right? What does that mean? You need to constantly, the thing that you're supposed to be grounded in, you're supposed to be seeing it continuously. Have pictures, even say 100 of the perfect setup that you're looking for, such that when you go into the market, the real market, you can easily see it because you have trained your eyes. What we see oftentimes is a lot of people not training their eyes. Your eyes have not been trained, but we have to train you to help you see what that perfect setup looks like. Okay? That's what we are talking about here. Trying to help you basically see the perfect setup. So now I'll take the time to I want to show you something. I hope I can quickly find it. Just give me a second. Should be here. Yes. Okay. So I'll just share this. I think you can see all these things that you're seeing here. These pictures. These are pictures that I basically have of the perfect setups that I might be looking for. I mean, I'm in a group, and I basically have captured the perfect setup for myself. And this is what I want to give you. And those who basically who follow me, I've given them what to look out for when they're in the market. And basically these are over 100 setups of the same setup. Like literally it's either a buy or a sell setup, but like if it's a buy setup, there's a way it looks like. If it's a sell setup, there's a way it looks like. So these are over 100, and that's real. Why? You need to renew your mind. You need to be looking at the charts on a consistent basis. Say, oh, this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like, or whatever. This may look jargon to you right now. It's most likely is jargon, right? But for me, I know what I'm looking at right now, because I know when the setup starts to play out like this, like that, I know when to enter. All right, and the success ratio is quite high. So I leave it at that. Let me move away from that and move on to the next slide. So success in trading is not about the perfect strategy, it's about consistent execution and managing risk, renewal of your mind. Okay, that point comes back. Renewal of the mind. That's the key takeaway for me. Renewal of the mind. And I can't emphasize this point enough. We need to be doing a lot of screenshots where someone whereby when you have your perfect strategy, let's say you pick supply and demand as your main technique alongside trend line, just an example. You need to know what that looks like on a regular basis. Take screenshots where you saw a successful setup. You're taking screenshots of that, and it's showing itself consistently through. And this is an area where we don't do enough to renew our mind. Even the most perfect traders, it doesn't have to be that you have to blow your account to renew your mind to say, oh, that's how the setup looks like, or that's how the setup doesn't look like. We are supposed to be looking at these things over and over and over again, over and over again. And that's my my conclusion in terms of the last presentation for you guys. So stop chasing the perfection, start mastering discipline. Your edge is built, it's not found. You build an edge. What do we mean an edge? Something that is in line with your personality or character. Maybe you like to trade in 15 minutes time frame, 30 minutes time frame, 1 hour time frame. All right? Maybe that's what you like to do. Okay, then fine. Trade in those time frames that you're most comfortable with. You maybe it's that you like to use um what you call the support and resistance. Fine, let's work with support and resistance alongside trend lines. Fine, do that. But one thing you should not do is try to be all over the place, because you have to build your edge. You have to say, this is what's going to work for me. Okay. But like I said, if you're completely new, you know nothing, I can just follow my links in the group, in the book. There's a book I think I have out there, the final crash course. Follow my links. Basically, all my links are in there. Join the group. Email me if you're a newbie. That is, you know nothing. We can give you a strategy that you can work with, that you can apply consistently, and you should be okay. There's no need to worry as if this is it's rocket science. It's not rocket science. So, you know, the book is there, self-explanatory. Difference between Forex and synthetic indices. I've pretty much just put the whole process there. Everything I'm saying is repetition. And then there they are, the table of contents. Trend direction and trend lines technique, support resistance technique, supply and demand technique, liquidity technique, order blocks technique, magic numbers technique, account trade management, psychology. So when you go into each folder, when you click the link, it will take you to a folder on my Google Drive. You find content there. My aim is to create videos around that, videos that you can see me basically mapping out, and hopefully on YouTube, we can show you how those trend lines, for example, play out. But my job is basically to introduce you to this topic. I think you'll find the book. I have I have picked out some books on trend line, just one or two, I think. Same on the other topics, just one or two books. But these are very good books that help me, and they'll help you too. But just read quickly. You don't have to be perfect. I hope you have not skipped this part as I conclude. Don't don't read don't read to be perfect. Don't read it to be perfect, like perfectly to understand it. You understand it even maybe as you play the video, and I think that's what's important. All right, guys, I'll have indicators in there that can help you draw these things. Nothing is complicated. We also have indicators, the ones that matter, the ones that you don't have to pay for. All right, guys. Even just a small bonus in there. Working with a good broker is important. I've thrown into this package how to open an account with Deriv. Um, Shout out to Deriv. I mean, they have helped me over the years. I mean, I've been consistently withdrawing with them. So just wanted to let you know it's a book written for those new to trading and those people who gave up during the registration process before they could even trade. This is very true. A lot of people give up just at that registration, but don't even understand how to register. Again, email me. This is an introduction. It's not meant to be long. And all in all, guys, thank you for your time. I can't wait to hear from you on the other side, because Guys, let's make it together. I'm Zambian. If you're wondering, I'm from Africa, Zambia, and you're not too far gone. If you want to learn about Forex, just know that you've made the best decision of your life. You should be good. You're supposed to be awesome in this. It's not complicated. Stop thinking it to be hard. It's not hard. And I believe in you so much because we are the future, guys. The economy, as you know, you need a side hustle in this economy. You can't just stick to one thing. Apply yourself. You're young, take risks, and I believe that forex trading is the best place to take risks, calculated risks, not just wrong risks, calculated risks in the best way possible. All right, ciao, guys. Thank you, and God bless.